And I was like, I think I gotta go to the bathroom. And not number one. I was like, I think I gotta go to the bathroom. My stomach is like so tight. So I go to the bathroom and I sit down and I'm just like, nothing's happening. Like, I don't feel nothing moving. I don't know if something is moving and I'm using it and I have no clue, because at that point, so much stuff is pushed down. There's so much pressure and everywhere. You don't know what's happening. So then I was like, all right, I don't have to use the bathroom. So I get up and I was like, ugh, like 15 minutes. And I was like, I think I gotta use the bathroom again, right? So Jada's up getting ready. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know what this is. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just call my mom. She probably know. Wrong. My mother remembers nothing from having me, and I'm her only child, but she can't tell me anything except I did have an epidural. I didn't feel nothing. I don't remember. That was 30 years ago. That was her whole thing the whole time that I'm basically in labor. So I call her and I say, my stomach is getting real tight and then it get loose. I was like, I don't know what that means. So my doctor and her are actually friends with each other. They're like cool with each other. And so my mom was like, well, I'm gonna call Holly and see what's happening. And I was like, all right, cool. So she calls my doctor and my doctor says, go to labor and delivery. Now, a little bit of story to this morning. Jade has left me because he didn't know if I was in labor or not. And of course, I never had Braxton Hicks, so I didn't know if maybe I was about to, have Braxton Hicks. But I told him to keep his phone on because it could be an emergency, because I'm smart, I'm a woman, we know these things, right? So he leaves because he's going to the gym. So he goes to the gym, and now the doctor says go to labor and delivery. So I call him. He does not answer. Now I'm going into stalker mode, right? So I'm going to call you. So I'm calling. He finally calls me back and says, what's up? I was like, I'm about to have a baby. Your baby. So it's like, well, I'm almost done here. What? You're done. You're done there. You got to come. You know what? Don't even. Typical woman. Don't even worry about it. Click. I take a shower. Now this is why he wasn't almost done, because I had time to do the next steps. I took a shower. I made sure I had my bag together, which all of my stuff was together before, because if you're a first time mom, you like, ooh, I gotta do it. Like, I read about it, I Pinterested it, I know what's in all those things. So I had my bag together, I had Jada's bag together, I grabbed her bag, I grabbed my bag, I grabbed a car seat, and I grabbed my purse. And I walked down our flight of stairs, because we are on the 3rd floor of an apartment building, right? So I go down the stairs, get in my car, drive myself to the hospital, which is about 20 minutes from where we live, while I'm in labor. Yes, I am contracting, driving. I talked to my mom. I talked to one of my best friends, Leanne. And she was like, why are you driving yourself? I was like, it's fine, I'm fine. And I talked to my other friend, Jessica. Now, Jessica already has a baby, which Carter is not a baby anymore. But, so she's been through this. So she's like, oh, I'm going to come to the hospital, I was like, perfect, yes, please, friend. So I'm mad at Jade in the time frame that it's taking me to get to the hospital, because he's still at the gym. Well, he had left the gym. I had passed him in leaving to go to the hospital, but I wasn't finna stay there and wait for him, because I didn't know if the labor was gonna start speeding up and the baby was gonna pop out. Who knows? I don't know. I've never given birth. Who knows? So I get to the hospital. My mom meets me there. So we meet at the same time. We get on the elevator, we go up. Now my contractions are stronger and they're a little closer together. So I'm getting, all I remember is I'm getting off the elevator and my mom was like, what are you doing? Come on. And I'm like, actually, I'm in the middle of a contraction. I am in labor and about to have a baby. If you could just give me a second. Just let it happen. And then I can walk because I'll be fine. So we get there and when we check in, they say, oh, you're coming to be induced? And I'm like, no, I think I'm in labor. I don't think nobody's gonna have to do anything extra. I think she's here and it's just gonna happen. And so they were like, oh, your doctor had you signed up to be induced today. Oh, God knew. First of all, he knew I was tired of being pregnant. Second of all, my doctor and God must be working together because they made it happen. He was like, we're gonna go ahead and schedule her here, but you won't even have to come in and really do anything, which she did end up having to come in and do some stuff, but you know what I mean. So they get me into a room and they hook me up to everything. They give me, all this checking to see what's happening. And then she says, well, you're definitely in labor. And then I knew it, but I didn't know it. And so now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really about to have a baby. Then Jay comes in because him and my mom have talked to each other. He called my mom on me, I guess, because she says, were you being mean to Jay? Yes, because I'm about to have a baby and he's trying to work out. Yes, I'm being mean to him. Bringing life into this world. Anyways, so he gets there and I'm not mad no more because I need him now. I need to. So, we're there and they hook me up. They put my IVs in and all that. They come in and talk to me about what's happening. They're monitoring my contractions. And then they say, okay, now I get there at about 10. And, I get checked in and everything at about 10. And then they say, okay, well, the doctor's going to come over and break your water at noon. And I had an epidural, a catheter, which I'd never had before. Don't know what it feels like because I was numb. Done. Okay. So I had they numbed me first, catheter, broke my water. I think that was the order. I don't know. All I know is when they broke my water, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a constant pee. Like you're just peeing and peeing and peeing and peeing and peeing. It's like, you watch the movies and it's like splat and it's like, oh, my water broke. Not quite. It's like a fluid that's just constantly coming, and it stops, but it's constantly coming. So when she does that, the contractions, first of all, my epidural, it worked because I'm pretty sure that I would have been in more pain if I wouldn't have had this epidural. I'm absolutely positive that would have been the case, but I did still feel some pain and pressure. So Jaida is down now. She is contracting and things are opening up and things are happening, and you constantly have somebody in your vagina. Oh gosh. So now I get it why women who have babies, they're not ashamed of anything because you have busted wide open. And there's several people in there. Jessica was in there. My mom was in there. A couple doctors, couple nurses, Jay, everybody. Just, my vagina was just for display. So, she breaks my water. Contractions are getting closer. The pressure is pushing. And there's this one contraction that's like, it seems like when I had it, like Jaida was like, her head was out. And I was like, oh. I was like, something has happened. Something has happened. Well, right when I say that, everybody, all the doctors and nurses come in and they're just moving and getting all this stuff together. And they pull these like a transformer bed. Just the stirrups just came out and my legs was, put your leg, it was like, oh God. Well, they didn't make me put my legs up right when they pulled it out. They were still getting stuff together. They get this light that beams down on your vagina to really see in that thing. You got the baby warmer and the weight machine over here for her, and you have another nurse that's picking up the placenta. Well, that's what she was gonna do. This, I haven't given birth yet, but they get everything together and fast. I've never seen it. So then it's time for me to push, which I think all of that took about a minute, 10 seconds. So now it's time for me to push. She puts my legs up and she says, okay, Ashley, what I want you to do is, with the next contraction, you're gonna push down like you're taking a poop, and we're just gonna push like that until she comes out. Do you understand? Because now I'm ready to push her out, because I feel like she's already out and it's just like uncomfortable, and I just want her to, I just want her out. So she says, okay, get ready to push. All right, ready and push. And so I push and I'm bearing down and boop, Jaida comes. No second push, no third push, nothing. One push. So she comes out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just had a baby. That's literally what happened. And I'd be like, okay, well, what are y'all doing to her? Like, what's happening now? Like, oh, they like shake, wiping her off, and I'm like, oh, they tearing her up. I don't know what's happening. So they do all of this stuff and they take her over. They say, oh, and I'm like, oh, she's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Even though, to be honest, y'all, a baby looks like a baby to me when they first come out. They look just like they got a lot of stuff on them. They just look weird. I don't like this piece of hair. Oh, that's from my ponytail. Let's just put that back there. It's hating on me. Nope, I don't like that either. Let's put that back in the front. Just don't do that. Why are you doing? Okay, oh. That doesn't look good either. You know what? There we go. Look at that. Just that quick. Brought it together. My edges. Doesn't matter. So, oh, I don't like that piece of hair. Okay, that's okay. That's good. Okay. All right. Back to the regular scheduled program. So, one push, and then she's like, okay, you're gonna feel a little bit of something. I don't even know what she was talking about, really. I heard her saying something, but I didn't hear all of it because I was holding Jaida. But you have to give birth twice, basically. They're gonna pull a placenta out. They're gonna take that out. And you feel that, right? So even though I had epidural, I still felt her doing something. It's like she was pulling out another baby. Thank God she wasn't, because twins, oh my God, I would have died slowly. So she gets the placenta out, and all I hear her say is, oh yes, it's a very mature placenta. Oh, we have a slight tear, but nothing that we need to sew up. I was like, yes. So in my mind, I was thinking my vagina's gonna go back. It's like perfect. Now mind you, I didn't think that, because her weight was 8 pounds, 11 ounces. That's why it was time for her to come out of there. I'm not supposed to give birth to a 10 pound, 9 pound baby. Well, she was almost 9 pounds, but a 10 pound baby is a negative, okay? So she, 21 inches long. So she was just cramped in there, you know? So then after all of that happens, you know, it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, I've given birth. Life is a breeze in the hospital, right? Because you have all these people. Well, I take that back. Life is not a breeze in the hospital. I probably would have been okay with just like one day in the hospital and going home. But one, I wanted to breastfeed, so I needed to find somebody to help me to teach Jaida how to latch. And then the nursing specialist was like, something was happening, I don't know, but she couldn't come until the next day. So I ended up staying in the hospital for 3 days before they sent me home. So in this time frame, they come into your room like every 2 hours, whether you're trying to sleep or not, and they have to check your vitals, right? And they just keep doing that. And I'm just like, I think I'm alive. I think I'm okay. I think it's going to be fine. But they have to do it, and they check the baby's vitals, and then they have to take her because they have to give her a bath after, so long. And then they have to give her some shots. They have to check their hearing. They have to check their eyes. They have to check, just different things, which I'm grateful for. Because, before you leave the hospital, you want to know if she can't hear out of an ear or something. So it's time to go home. I'm nervous at this point, right? So now they're sending me home with this little person to take care of on my own. But of course, I feel like mommy instincts just kind of kick in, and you just kind of know what to do for your baby. Because my baby is not just like Carter was when he was a baby, my best friend's son. And my baby is not like the other woman that was giving birth in the room next to me. Like, no baby is the same. No baby is going to act the same or be the same or whatever the case may be. And so I was like, all right, I'm going home with this infant that she solely depends on me and her father. And so I'm like, oh gosh. Now, mind you, when I'm getting ready to go home, Jade works from morning until night. So I'm about to be home with this baby literally all day. And for 6 weeks, the old school 6 weeks, you can't leave the house. You're not supposed to do nothing. Don't take that baby outside. You're going to get that baby sick. So we followed that to a certain extent. I went and got my, if you judge me, don't judge. Don't judge. I went and got my nails done after 3 weeks of being in the house. And my mom was with me. We didn't have corona, COVID-19. So I went, and Jaida came with us, and she slept. And after I got my nails and my toes done, we went to the mall, and we walked around, and I had her in her little bubble, covered up in her car seat, right? Nobody could breathe on her, touch her, none of that. And went to the mall, and then we left from there and went to Texas Roadhouse so I could get me some rolls with some honey butter and some fried fish. And I just wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to be amongst people because I had been in the house for 3 weeks, and the only people that I saw was like Jade and my mom and my dad, and that's okay because those are the people that you really want to see. But I wanted to just be out